So, there has been an abundance of nonsense, misinformation, lies on the Xbox platform and Microsoft in general. And I understand that many of you that might come across this video, a lot of you guys have TikTok brain, so you guys probably already clicked off the video already. So this video is not for you guys. Y'all probably already gone anyway. This is the video for people that want to hear facts. They want to hear, why is Microsoft doing what they're doing with Xbox? What is really going on with Xbox? We need answers. So you know what? I have answers for you. Now, I typed up a few questions, and thanks to AI, all AI did was pretty much gather all of the articles that I was searching for and summarized everything in a very neat package. Something anybody can do. And when I go over to Twitter and I look at the absolute nonsense from these so-called insiders spewing the garbage that they've been spewing about Xbox, just completely, just they don't know what the hell they're talking about. But yet and still, these are the same people that have thousands, tens of thousands, even millions of followers. And it just burns me up knowing that so many people continuously hear bullshit. So I'm going to pretty much rectify that right now. So I'm just going to just give a general statement right now. Microsoft has been losing the so-called console war from the very, very beginning. From the very beginning, they stepped into this whole console market. They have been on the back foot. That's a fact. The only time that Microsoft was actually very strong when it came to hardware sales was during the seventh generation. And during the seventh generation, you had the Xbox 360, which many people regard as the golden age, opposite of the PlayStation 3. Now, I'm going to get into those facts and figures later, so we'll just we'll sidebar that for now. But just know that in the conversation that people like to speak on as it relates to the console wars, that was it. The console wars, as most people speak about it, it died in the seventh generation. After the seventh generation, console war done. The eighth generation was the Xbox One, PS4, and we're currently in the ninth, which is the Series X and the PS5. So I just want to pretty much put that to bed right off the bat. There is no console war in the way in which people are trying to push the narrative or what have you. It's stupid. It's dumb. The only people that care about this shit, honestly, are those same people that keep pushing this narrative for clicks and views. That's all. And believe me, when I go on over to X or Twitter, and I look at some of these people who have these huge followings, they don't know jack shit about business. They don't know jack shit about marketing. And they damn sure don't know jack shit about the gaming industry. They don't. They don't. And it's fine to have your favorites. It's fine to have your favorite console, your favorite games. I'm not even disputing any of that. What I am disputing is the constant bombardment of bullshit that I am seeing from many of these people. And it's almost like it's the fun thing to do is shit on Microsoft, shit on Xbox, even though you people have it completely fucking wrong. So I'm going to take this opportunity right now to get into a few of the facts here. And many of you people are not going to like what I have to say because a lot of times people don't want to hear the truth. They rather keep living in ignorance. Well, you know what? You're going to learn something today. So let's get started. So I had this question I posed, which was, let me just make sure the OBS is functioning. Okay. Despite Xbox having a 29% loss, what is the current state of the brand? As of Microsoft fiscal quarter 1 2026, summer of 2025, Xbox hardware revenue fell by 29%, primarily due to lower console sales volumes, which were influenced by recent price increases. Now, these price increases, I will say, just to kind of get into that, they were largely brought on, if you're going to believe the rumors, by the tariffs. And Microsoft decided to handle those tariffs by raising the cost of the hardware. I know that might be hard for some people to understand, but it is well known and well documented that the Xbox platform, like the consoles, are the lowest performing metric out of the entire Xbox brand. That's just what it is. So, if we go on through here, just kind of skim through this. So this is what we already know. Xbox content services 1% revenue growth. Now, here's the deal. Here's the point. The entire loss was $113 million, which accounts for 2%. So everybody is all going haywire like this is this major thing. You know what that's like? That is like taking a grain of sand on a beach and plucking it out of the ground and chucking it into the ocean and making it like it's this big thing. It is 2% of Microsoft's total gaming revenue. Let's continue. Let's keep going. Xbox is a smaller segment within Microsoft's broader portfolio. I think I don't think people understand this. The hardware, the hardware of the Xbox brand is again the smallest performing metric. You can even argue and say that these losses were probably already factored in. This is not a dumb company. This is a company that has trillions of dollars. You don't become a $1 trillion company on accident. You have some very smart people over at Microsoft. Do they screw up sometimes? Sure. Do I agree with everything they do? No, I do not. However, the fact remains is that they are a 3.87 or 90 trillion dollar company trading at 513 something dollars, whereas Sony is barely in the mid 20s when it comes to their stock. You can't even they're not even in the same stratosphere. So let's just continue here. Okay. So where was I at? All right. So okay, so for context, Microsoft reported 77.7 billion in total revenue. So let's see. Microsoft, the hardware, right? Overall gaming revenue impact was $113 million. But yet and still, Microsoft has a $77.7 billion in total revenue. And it's also well confirmed and documented that Microsoft has shifted its priority to what? AI and cloud technologies. That is their main priority. This this has been they have confirmed this months ago. But let's continue because I'm not done yet. So ultimately, what you're going to see in this article essentially is this is just Microsoft prioritizing cloud and AI. And also, when it comes to the gaming aspect, they're prioritizing and have been prioritizing the Xbox ecosystem, which includes the cloud, it includes the Game Pass, as well as meeting players wherever they are. This is why you have the whole, this is an Xbox. This is why you have that. And a lot of these so-called insiders don't know jack shit about marketing, so they don't understand the language that's going on. But let's continue. So the decline in hardware sales is partly I've always had a problem with this word, and price related, reflecting market dynamics rather than a fundamental brand weakness. Xbox content and services remain resilient, indicating that the brand's ecosystem value, subscriptions, games, and services is strong. I just explained that. Did I just not explain that? The hardware aspect of Microsoft is a very small aspect. Like, again, going back to $113 million in loss, which is a lot of money. But when you juxtapose that with what they brought in, which is $77 billion, come on, man. So let's continue here. Microsoft views Xbox as a long-term strategic asset. Long-term. Particularly as its cloud gaming and ecosystem components, Game Pass, cloud streaming, AI-enhanced gaming grow. It's like, it boggles my mind how I can literally sit here, do some light research, and get actual real fucking facts and data, but yet and still you have these no counts on X and Twitter continually pushing their bullshit of lies and misinformation. But let's continue. Conclusion. Despite a 29% fall in console revenue, the Xbox brand is stable and strategically supported by service growth, ongoing investments, and integration with Microsoft's broader tech ecosystem. The decline does not signal brand collapse, but rather a short-term hardware market adjustment while the overall platform continues to hold significant position in Microsoft's gaming and digital service strategy. I hope you people understand what that is, and if you don't, just rewind the video. So now, I am going to move on to the next article of business. And that is, what is the future of Xbox as it pertains to hardware? Let's get into this. Microsoft's Xbox hardware strategy appears to be entering a transformative phase, shaped by both market pressures and technological ambitions. Very well said. Well written, I should say. Based on recent reports and trends, several key trajectories can be identified. Number one, shift toward hybrid PC console ecosystems. The next generation Xbox is reportedly evolving into a hybrid device, blending traditional console functionality with PC capabilities. Features include support for multiple storefronts, Xbox, Steam, Battle.net, and probably that GOG thing as well, and backward compatibility with older Xbox titles. This approach positions Xbox as a versatile gaming platform rather than a standalone console, catering to both console and PC gamers. You know that 10-year deal? Hold on. You know that 10-year deal with AMD that Microsoft signed? Where during along that same time period, there were so many dumb fucks on X and Reddit and God knows whoever else that's making these stupid YouTube videos that's saying that Microsoft is throwing in the towel, they're getting out of the hardware business. I wonder where these same people are now. Oh yeah, that's right. Now they've shifted the goalposts and shifted their narrative to now talk about the 29% decrease in hardware sales. So you see how they jump around? It's all bullshit. These people don't know a fucking thing. But I'm going to continue. So, implications. High-end hardware expected to handle diverse game libraries and modding. Look at that. Premium pricing. Of course, this shit is not going to be cheap. So better just save up now. We know the console's coming in 2027. Just save your fucking money. There you go. There you go. If you want the next Xbox or the next console in general, we already know that it's going to come out sometime in 20. It's not coming 2026. So just save your fucking money. Anyway, so it may restrict mainstream adoption, but offers a high performance tier for enthusiasts. Number 2, ecosystem and hardware fragmentation. Digital Foundry anticipates a Windows Surface-like model for Xbox, where multiple manufacturers may produce Xbox-compatible hardware. Future Xbox systems might no longer revolve around a singular reference console, but a spectrum of devices optimized for different segments: mobility, performance, and affordability. This ecosystem approach could blur the line between traditional console cycles and continuous hardware refreshes. Right there, I want to just chime in and say this. Nintendo and Sony, they continue to operate under the traditional platform model. This is why you have a lot of gamers who don't know jack shit about marketing, about business, let alone the gaming industry. They only know how to mash buttons. So, Microsoft doing something that is truly transformative and is also not the norm is going to come off like what is going on to the average gamer. And that is exactly what I have been reading. This is exactly what I have been seeing from these so-called larger content creators and these so-called insiders that don't know a goddamn thing of what they're yapping about. But let's continue. So, profit-driven design and premiumization. Microsoft targets a 30% profit margin, influencing hardware design, pricing, and feature prioritization. So that whole 30% profit margin, as I've talked about prior, has been the result of the Amy Hood situation that she decided to, I guess, create. I'm not a fan of it personally. I made the video about it where I'm not a fan, knowing that she comes from an entirely different segment of business, catering to a different clientele. But however, we will see how this shapes up. But I'm just not a fan of her personally. But you know, time will tell. Let me try to advance a little bit here. So, all right, let me skip to the software first and multi-platform future. With the emphasis on Game Pass and software ecosystems, Xbox's hardware may eventually become secondary to services by the 2030s. Now, hardware will likely focus on seamlessly supporting cross-platform experiences, cloud gaming, and PC compatibility. Long-term vision suggests a shift from console-first to service-first strategy, with Xbox defined more by its ecosystem than by specific hardware models. That is possible. Nothing lasts forever. So, we have AI integration in game development. AI is increasingly integrated into production to streamline asset creation, testing, and optimization, reducing dependency on hardware-intensive pipelines. While this may allow faster innovation on games, it could reduce hardware-specific differentiators and shift focus towards software capabilities. It's kind of like what you're able to achieve from a hardware standpoint. The differences may soon become too advanced for the average person to really recognize a significant leap. In fact, there are other notable developers that actually have stated that as we advance in technology, it's going to be increasingly more difficult for the human eye to even recognize the actual technological differentiation between one product versus the next. So we got the market risk. We already know what that is. It's going to be very costly. So the conclusion: the future of Xbox is likely shaped by a hybridized premium and ecosystem-centric model. Consoles will merge PC and console features. Multiple hardware designs by different manufacturers may emerge, reducing reliance on a single flagship console. Hardware innovation is now closely linked to profitability and software-driven experiences. By the 2030s, physical consoles may play a diminishing role as Xbox pivots to software, cloud, and subscription services. Now, what you have to understand is this. Microsoft has found a way to essentially transcend beyond the typical console restraints. Okay, you no longer need to outright purchase an Xbox console to play Xbox games. This is the reason why Microsoft has rebranded the Xbox platform as just a generalized ecosystem, and many of your devices, which includes console, but it also includes your phone, your laptop, your tablet, your fucking TV. And this is where they decided to come up with the campaign slogan of, or campaign of, "This is an Xbox." And unfortunately, many gamers only know how to mash fucking buttons, and they do not understand the core tenets of marketing. So this is why when you introduce something like this to the vast gaming audience, they have no, it's like a human seeing a UFO. It's like, what is that? What's going on? They don't know. They can't. They're used to it being this way from Nintendo and from Sony. But I'm going to actually get into why Microsoft went this direction in the fucking first place. But believe me, I got more because there's so much bullshit to counter. I'm going in on this video. This is the fucking masterclass right here for you. So we're gonna go on to the next topic. I have to share this. This trajectory indicates Xbox hardware is not dead, but it will be dramatically different from traditional console models. Traditional, we all know who they're talking about, Nintendo and Sony. Emphasizing flexibility, performance, and ecosystem integration over price-driven adoption or hardware exclusivity. Now we're moving on to the next question. Is during the recent Game Pass price hike, because everybody bitched about that, especially the Xbox Doomers, oh my god, it's an extra $10. What was added to the service most people are not aware of? So, during the October 2025 price increase, most gamers noticed the subscription costs going up, but not everyone is fully aware of the specific new additions and perks that accompanied the hike. According to official Microsoft statements and reporting from multiple sources, the following key features were added: expanded game libraries. Basically, you have more games for each service, for each tier, I should say. And I've spoken about this several times, where the lowest tier of the Microsoft Game Pass was about 25 games. Last I checked, it is now up to 67. And Ultimate has over 470 games that I've actually seen. Now, people want to scoff at Ubisoft Plus Classics, but you know what? They have some very solid titles there. But these are people that just want to bitch and complain and say that there was no added value included, which is a lie. Just because you don't see the value in something does not mean that someone else doesn't. The value is there. It just might not be for you. Just like you may like a particular game and you say, yo, this game is great. I may not like it. But I can still respect the fact that the game is a quality game. It's just not my cup of tea. Not everybody can do that. So when we also look at the Fortnite crew membership, honestly, I didn't even know what that even was because I don't really play Fortnite. Maybe I should give it a second look because they look like they've built the game up since the last time I played it. But the thing is that there are millions of people that play Fortnite. So these people are getting value with that. Now, just because I'm not playing Fortnite, am I that pissed off about it? No, I'm not. EA Play, included as before, giving another layer of content access. Combined, these add-ons are valued at roughly $28 per month, representing content that many subscribers may not realize as part of the subscription. Unlimited cloud gaming access. Now, this aspect was something that I found out where cloud gaming was now being offered to the essential and the premium levels as well, which are the two lower tiers directly underneath Ultimate. Prior to this, multiplayer and the cloud was exclusive to the highest tier Microsoft, which drew people to be very upset, saying that in order to experience the multiplayer, you had to pay for the highest tier, which was Ultimate. Now you can essentially just pay for the essential, get your multiplayer, get your 60 plus games, and that's it. Increased day one releases, 50% more day one titles. Okay. Expanded reward system for Ultimate subscribers, $100 in earned cash. A lot of people scoff at that, but hey, you know what? Something is better than nothing. Crossplay, and this is what I was just talking about. Crossplay and online multiplayer capabilities remain included across all tiers with enhanced cloud performance at higher tiers. Also, another a fun fact is that the cloud actually now allows you to have a maximum resolution of 1440p. That was something I did not know, because prior the max resolution on cloud was 1080p. So for those people that are into higher resolutions, they got you covered. Conclusion. While the headline of the 50% price increase drew most of the attention, the less obvious additions that many subscribers may not realize include Ubisoft Plus, Fortnite crew membership, unlimited cloud gaming for lower tiers, and a significantly higher number of day one releases, as well as overall game increasing, or should I say, the overall amount of games you have within each tier has been increased. So that does add with the value, does increase the value, whether you want to partake with it or not, because we can even look at it from a game standpoint. You might only find one particular game in Game Pass Ultimate that is a day one, a day one exclusive, right? Like say Ninja Gaiden 4 or Black Ops 7. You might only like that one particular game. But as I keep telling people over and over again, no one is forcing you to keep subscribing month after month after month. Microsoft does not hold a gun to anybody's head. If you only have one game or so that you're used to playing, you might as well just buy the goddamn game. You would think that this is common sense, but people want to keep harping on, 12 months of Game Pass is more expensive than an Xbox Series S. Yeah. And if you're stupid enough to maintain a subscription to something that you're not fully utilizing, then you are the one that scammed yourself. That would be like me living in New York, right? Because I live in New York. That would be like me buying an unlimited Metro card or Omni card. I think that's what they're going for nowadays, and spending well over $100 for an entire month of travel. But I only really use the subway total time about a week. So I basically wasted all that money. I might as well have just paid for the rides I use individually because it'll save me in the long run. People don't use let me just continue. Let's go on to the next. Let's go on to the next topic. Here's one. This was an older story. People like to bitch and criticize Microsoft for laying off the people that he laid off. So, in lieu of the recent Microsoft layoffs, how many other notable companies had layoffs as well for 2025? Let's look. So, we also have I got a little fly in here. Come on, God damn it, it's gonna be annoying. Anyway, so for October 2025, you can look at this and you can just, I'm not going to read all of it. It's on the screen. You can just look at it yourself. You can screenshot it. You can do whatever you wish to do. These are the other companies that have actually laid people off. Because at the end of the day, it's a company. Layoffs will happen. It's a fact of life. Just like prices will increase, layoffs will happen, death and taxes are constant. It is what it is, people. Now, if we go on further down the list, right? You could look at all these companies. Now, if you look at the total percentage of the staff, I believe Microsoft is here, right? Where is Microsoft? We have Glassdoor. Look at Glassdoor. Wow, 1,300. Microsoft, 9,000 employees. Now, obviously, it went up to about I think it was like 15,000 or so. But at this point, it was less than 4% of their workforce. I mean, it still sucks, but we have to understand, people, layoffs will happen, and there will be more layoffs in the future with other companies. So I don't say that to belittle people losing their job. It sucks when people lose their job. But the amount of backlash that I've seen from Microsoft having these layoffs, you'd act like no other company does this. Now, the main reason why Microsoft decided to even do this is because of their shift in company, what they're aiming to prioritize, which is AI and the cloud. This is why Microsoft has invested billions upon billions of dollars into their cloud infrastructure, which is probably the reason why their cloud functionality has been improved in terms of its when you can gain access to your game across both your console and PC whenever you use the cloud streaming, as well as being more stable, especially since I remember a couple of months ago, as well as upping the resolution because they're able to, the technology is able to, output higher resolutions because they made that, they built up that infrastructure. Okay, this is just what it is. Now, if we continue to go down to the summary analysts, at least 25 notable companies reported layoffs in 2025 aside from Microsoft, with some undergoing multiple rounds of reductions within the year. Many of the layoffs were concentrated in what? Technology, AI development, cloud services, and software sectors, signaling a broader industry trend linked to automation and AI-driven reorganization. These figures only represent reported major or headline layoffs. Smaller startups or lesser-known firms may increase the total tally significantly. So, there you have it. Now, the next question. Why does Microsoft continue to support Xbox hardware and not simply abandon consoles in favor of software and subscriber services? So basically, if you were to listen to all of the Xbox doomers out here, you would think that Microsoft is literally like they're getting rid of the Xbox brand. The Xbox brand is losing so much money, And also, the Xbox console is doomed and there's going to be no more hardware. If you were to listen to these idiots, you would believe that. But instead, just listen to me. So let's get into this. Microsoft's strategy around Xbox is shaped by a combination of technological, financial, and market driven considerations, although commentary from insiders like Laura Fryer emphasizes a perceived pullback from hardware. Multiple facts indicate that Microsoft is deliberately maintaining console production alongside software focused initiatives such as Game Pass and cloud gaming. Now, damn, man, it's a goddamn fly, man. Where's my damn spray? 'Cause I'm literally, I just hate, literally, like, cause I think a little house fly got in here and it's buzzing around. I swear to God, I'm literally gonna go like third world rage mode when I get done with this video. Anyway, so yeah, consoles such as my Xbox Series X and S act as a market anchor for Microsoft's gaming ecosystem. They provide controlled user experience and performance. Hardware ensures games run optimally, reinforcing positive perceptions of Microsoft services and intellectual property. Platform loyalty. Physical consoles lock players into Microsoft's ecosystem, promoting subscription adoption and digital content sales. Departing entirely from hardware risks fragmenting the ecosystem, reducing software adoption, and weakening the company's leverage over developers. Revenue diversification. Xbox hardware is a loss leader, but drives profitable software sales. The sales of Game Pass, in game content, and first party titles generate recurring revenue exceeding hardware margins. Microsoft reported 70.1 billion in net revenue with 25.8 billion net profit, demonstrating that gaming remains commercially viable when the hardware margins are slim. So this is very important. So we have 25.8 billion in profit from the Xbox division. So I want that to be clear. I want that to be clear. This is the amount of money that this is theirs. So this proves that the Xbox division is making money, a very good amount of money. Despite everybody want to push out that high the what is it the headline of 29% sales hardware decline. Microsoft is aware that their hardware, the console, is their weakest performing metric. But this is what these people prefer to do. They want to focus on, oh my God, it's a 29% decline. But yeah, and so that represents what, 4%? Actually, no, not 2% of their total loss. 2! Like I said, man, you're getting the facts here. By maintaining hardware, Microsoft can sustain vertically integrated revenue streams, capturing both device purchases and long-term digital monetization. Do you people even understand what that means? Like I said, this people don't understand business and they don't understand marketing. These are revenue streams that will scale dynamically and over the course of time. When you have, it's so annoying. When you have a hardware platform, right, in the Xbox, despite it being its weakest performing metric, people are still buying Xboxes, believe it or not. People own Xboxes like myself. And I will buy, maker willing, the next 10th generation Xbox. Microsoft are doing just fine, people. Xbox are doing just fine, people. Anyway, ecosystem convergence. God damn, this fucking thing is annoying me. Like I said, I don't want to end the recording, but believe me, when this shit is over, this little fucker is getting some raid. Anyway, this is what happens when you live in an apartment. You open the door and something flies in. It's a pain in the ass. I'm sure many of you can relate to this. Anyway, Microsoft's hardware roadmap is increasingly modular and multi-platform. Partnerships with Asus, ROG, Xbox Ally, and AMD signify a shift toward diversified hardware offerings, where Microsoft provides standards and infrastructure rather than sole manufacturing. Xbox is becoming more comparable to Windows slash Surface, where multiple OEMs participate, but Microsoft ensures software compatibility, creating a robust ecosystem aligned with both consoles and cloud devices. This is the reason, people, why, again, we go back to this is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. That is why. This is why it's so annoying to me when I listen to and read these idiots that don't know jack shit about anything that they're talking about. Anyway, I believe that was it for. Oh, wait a second. Let me just scroll on down to the conclusion. Okay. Microsoft continues to support Xbox hardware because it functions as a strategic, financial, and cultural lever for the company's broader gaming strategy. While software and subscription models like Game Pass are central to Microsoft's future, hardware maintains ecosystem control, drives software revenue and subscriptions, preserves brand equity. This is a term I'm pretty sure many of these people have never even fucking heard of before. Brand awareness and brand equity. I'm pretty sure they don't know anything about either of these terms, by the way. Enables a controlled transition to multi-device gaming. In essence, rather than abandoning consoles, Microsoft appears to be redefining what hardware means from single machine dominance to a diversified software compatible platform strategy. So, you know something? I think I'm going to end off with this because the next two topics I feel can make its own video. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna end off with this one and go eliminate this goddamn fly that's buzzing around. And once I get done with that, I'm gonna have a nice good amount of water because my mouth is dry as a Mojave Desert. I'm gonna put some sort of stupid thumbnail. Hopefully it'll attract somebody that's intelligent to actually watch this video and get educated. And then that's going to be about it. So anyway, that's all I have to say about this particular topic here. And the next topic I want to dive into just how did Microsoft find its way in this position to begin with, as well as Sony being the scum that they are. They literally undercut Microsoft back in 2013. So I'm gonna have a fine time breaking that down. Anyway, I'm out of here. I got a damn fly to eliminate. Anyway, take care. Peace.